Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome if you're new. I'm so happy to have you here. Today we're back in the kitchen and we're going to be making 3 easy freezer meals that you can throw in your freezer and have ready for a really busy night. That way, instead of grabbing fast food, you can have a nice homemade dinner you can just pull out of the freezer. And today's video is actually a collab with my friend Amber from Housewife Glam Life. We've been friends for a really long time now. She's super sweet. She does home decor videos, cooking videos, what's for dinner, cleaning videos, all kinds of stuff. So I will link her video link and her channel link down below. I would love for you guys to go check her out, tell her hey and that I sent you. And other than that, let's go ahead and jump right into the freezer cooking.
All right, guys, we're gonna start with making homemade biscuits. These are really nice to pull out to have breakfast for dinner or for breakfast in the morning. We're gonna start with 4 cups of all-purpose flour. If you don't have all-purpose flour, a quick tip is just to use 1.5 teaspoon of baking powder and 1/4 teaspoon of salt for every 1 cup of all-purpose flour. And then we're going to use 2 tablespoons of baking powder and 1 teaspoon of baking soda. And then I just throw some salt in because I don't know, I like salt. And then you're gonna need 3 sticks of butter, and you can cut this into cubes, and then if you have a pastry cutter, cut it into the flour, but I do not. So I just use a cheese grater and I grate my butter up. Now I froze my butter thinking I was a genius and that this would work so much better. Definitely do not recommend. You want your butter very cold, but don't recommend to freeze. And then you're gonna pour your butter into your flour mixture and you're just gonna start combining these. The easiest way I found is just with my hands, but if you have a pastry cutter, I'm sure that's much easier. And this recipe is from the Joanna Gaines cookbook. I cook from this cookbook a lot. So if you guys have that cookbook, you can pull that out and follow along as well. Once that's all combined, we're gonna take 2 eggs and we're gonna scramble them, preferably without the shell. And once those are scrambled, you're gonna pour it into our flour and butter mixture and you're just gonna give that a quick stir. Once that's all combined, we're gonna add 1.5 cups of buttermilk, and then you're gonna start to combine this. Once you add this is your dough. I usually start out with a spoon and then just switch to my hands. It's just the easiest possible thing. Just make sure your hands are clean. Once you have your dough kind of molded into a big ball, you're just gonna cover it with cling wrap, and then you're gonna wanna let this rest for at least 30 minutes, preferably overnight, but ain't nobody got time for that. So I just threw it into my fridge for 30 minutes. It's very important that you let it rest. 30 minutes later, you're going to pour some more flour out onto your workspace, and then you're going to pull your dough out and you're going to start to knead your dough. You don't have to go crazy with this. You just want to knead it a little bit just to get it in a workable form. And then you're going to roll it out and start cutting your biscuits. You want to leave your dough pretty thick. You don't want it too thin because who likes a thin biscuit? I'd say probably about a 1/2 inch thick. And if you don't have a round biscuit cutter like me, just grab your favorite glass and cover it in flour and just start cutting it. A circle's a circle, right? Doesn't matter where you cut it from. After that, we're just gonna sit those to the side. And after each time you cut, you can re-knead your dough and roll it back out to get more biscuits. I think this makes probably about 15 to 20 biscuits. It makes quite a few biscuits. Now that that's done, you need a busted old cookie sheet pan. I really need a new cookie sheet. And you will start setting your biscuits out on the pan. You want them, they don't have to be completely apart, but a little bit apart. And we're going to flash freeze these. That way when we put them in the baggie, they won't stick together. Our next meal is one of my favorites, super, super easy and really yummy. It's going to be chicken pot pie. We're going to need celery, onion, and carrots, and you're just going to want to give all of this a fine dice. Now that our veggies are all done, you're going to want to take about 3 tablespoons of butter, and you're going to want to start to soften up all of your veggies. While those saute and soften up, the easiest way to make this chicken pot pie super quick, easy, is to just grab one of these rotisserie chickens from Walmart, and we're going to shred the chicken. You could absolutely take some chicken breast, boil it up, shred it up. I've done that before. But when you're just wanting quick and easy to just throw together some freezer meals, this is definitely the easiest way. After that, I'm going to head back to our veggie mixture. I'm going to give it a good salt and pepper. And I also added some garlic powder. If you have fresh garlic, I'm out right now. You could chop that up and add that with your veggies as well. Like I said, I'm out, so I just added probably about a tablespoon of garlic. You could give or take that. I just really, really love garlic. Once the veggies are all soft, you're going to want to take your chicken and throw that into the pan, give it a good mix, and then we're going to start on our roux. Don't be scared when I say roux. This roux is very, very easy. It's just going to make the inside of the chicken pot pie nice and thick. So you're going to take about 3 tablespoons of flour, and we're going to just mix that together over the veggies. Once that's mixed and you let it cook for about 1 minute, we're gonna slowly add chicken broth. In total, I added about 2 full cups of chicken broth. And then you're gonna wanna add some heavy cream. I had 2 heavy creams that I had to pull from, but I added about 1 full cup of heavy cream. Now that we're letting that simmer, we're gonna add some spices. I added more garlic because again, I love garlic, a lot of salt and pepper, and a little bit of rosemary and thyme. Don't go too crazy with it, just a little. Give that a stir, and then we're just gonna let this simmer and get nice and thick and let those flavors melt together. While we do that, I'm gonna get the base of our chicken pot pies together. I just pick up these pie crusts from Aldi. You can definitely make your own, but like I said, we're trying to be quick, we're trying to be easy. For about $1, they come with 2, so it comes with the bottom and the top. First, I put the pie crust down in the pan. I like to use these throwaway pans when I'm doing freezer meals just to make quick, easy cleanup, because if I'm using a freezer meal, it's a busy night. Then I let our inside mixture simmer for an additional 10 minutes, and then I'm just going to start pouring it into the pie crust. And then I'm gonna put the other pie crust on top. So I picked up 2 pie crusts so I could double this recipe, so I could have 2 chicken pot pies in the freezer at all times. And let me tell you guys, these chicken pot pies are amazing. They're so good. Quick, easy, like I said. You could cook this one night and just double your recipe like I did here, so you could have chicken pot pie for dinner one night and then have one in your freezer for the next night you want chicken pot pie. Once I've put the crust on top, I'm just gonna give this some little air vents, that way it doesn't bubble over and explode everywhere. And then we're just gonna cover these with tin foil. When you cook these, you wanna cook these at 350 for about 30 to 40 minutes, depending on your oven. And you wanna take your tin foil off, and it's super easy. And like I said, guys, we already had one of these and it was so good. Definitely recommend that you guys give this one a try. All right, and on to our last recipe. I really wanted to try some vegetarian taquitos, so I just took these Trader Joe's refried black beans with jalapenos and some just regular refried pinto beans from Aldi. And then I chopped up some chipotle peppers from Aldi as well, just to give it a little kick. And I mixed that all together. I saw this recipe somewhere. I can't remember where I saw it, but if I can remember where I found it, I'll link that down below for you guys. But these taquitos are amazing, and it's nice that they're vegetarian. Once I had the beans and the peppers mixed up, I started shredding probably about 1 to 1.5 cups of sharp cheddar cheese, and then I'm gonna mix that into the mixture as well. Now, if you're scared of spice, you don't have to add the chipotle peppers. You could totally do green chili peppers. Those would be fantastic in this as well. Once I have the cheese mixed into the beans and the pepper mixture, I'm gonna add some cumin and garlic, and you guessed it, mix again. After that, I took some flour tortillas in the fajita size, and then I just started filling the tortillas and I rolled them. If you wanted to make this burritos, I guess this could be burritos too. These are kind of burrito ingredients. You could just get larger tortillas. This made total about 22 taquitos, so a lot of taquitos. After that, we're just gonna kind of separate them into pans. Again, we're gonna flash freeze these, and then we're gonna add them to a baggie. Flash freezing for both the biscuits and the taquitos took about, I wanna say, an hour. So I just started pulling the biscuits off after this, putting them in a baggie, labeling them with the date. For the biscuits, you want to cook at 350 for probably about 30 minutes from fully frozen. And before you cook them, you could add a little egg wash on top just to make them super yummy and brown. And for the taquitos, you want to cook at 350 for about 20 minutes. I have had the taquitos since I've made this video. Let me tell you guys, they're amazing with a little sour cream and salsa. Amazing. And for dinner, you could pull out the taquitos, throw them in the oven, and then you could make some quick Spanish rice, and that meal would be so good. So I hope this freezer meal prep really helped you guys out, gave you some ideas on how to fill your freezer, some quick, easy. These meals were super easy to make. It wasn't that time consuming. And now I have some really great meals sitting in the freezer for lunch, breakfast, dinner, whatever I need at that time. So if you guys like this video, make sure and give it a big thumbs up, as well as hit subscribe down below if you're new. I would absolutely love to have you here. Make sure to check out Amber's channel. Like I said, her video will be linked down in my description below. And leave a comment if you like seeing cooking videos on my channel, and I'll make sure to make these a more regular thing. Other than that, I'll see you guys back here soon for a brand new video. Bye!